Gordon tackled by Rice, but he's got it back. Now Byrne up from fullback, stands up the cross, half cleared by Calafiori, brought down by Murphy, edge of the penalty area, far side. Jacob Murphy's cross, Byrne trying to get on the end of it, it's a corner. Headed behind by Timber, under pressure from Big Dan Byrne. Newcastle, better. Corner kick on the right.
It's better. He was offside.
Byrne
didn't
really compete for the ball. He was there, right at Timber's back. Definitely out of the defender, but Byrne offside after the ball was played in from Murphy. Corner kick for Newcastle United. Sent in by Tonali. Chow, downward header. Comfortable for Raya. Quick throw, Livramento across to intercept. Before Eza got on the end of it. Back to Pope, who takes a touch, lifts it away, but it's straight back to Arsenal and Timber. 0-0. Joelinton doesn't give Zubamendi a second. He has to play it back straight away to Mosquera, and now they're out from defence and into midfield with Trossard. He's got Tonali at his back, and then almost ran into trouble. And Tonali's won it. And now Voltemada for Gordon, edge of the area. Lay it off for Joelinton. Forced away from goal, but they still have it. Bruno brings in Livramento in the corner. Wins the corner kick after his cross is diverted behind.
Yeah, Arsenal trying to play out in the back again, give it away. Dangerous game. Especially when black and white shirts are swarming all over you.
Nick Pope with one big save already. Not much at the other end, but a couple of good positions there, United. 2 attacks in the last couple of minutes, and 2 corner kicks is the second of them. Tonali's outswinger, Chow again the target, it just missed him. Gordon retrieves 30 yards from goal, and it comes back in, a curling cross from Gordon, headed behind by Rice.
Decent ball played in.
Tonali to deliver once again. Murphy behind him, back down the line. Livramento, Gordon edge of the box. Arsenal everybody back, only Eza that isn't in the penalty area. He's just keeping an eye on Murphy. Referee watching from the 18-yard line. Tonali delivers again. Chow and Byrne go for the ball, and it's another corner. Last touch off an Arsenal player, and it's come out on the near side this time. Newcastle's left.
Yeah, it's causing Arsenal problems, isn't it? I mean, Arsenal aren't the smallest side in the world, but we're absolutely huge.
Byrne and Voltemada are standing in front of the goalkeeper. Raya is only 6 foot.
For them as well.
And you've got 6'6" and 6'7" there. If the ball is right, this could be good. Tonali's delivery, Raya pushes it away. Got back on his line to clear. Livramento now scoops it up the line for Bruno from halfway. Bruno dispossessed. It's Newcastle losing possession quite cheaply. Arsenal looking for Saka. Chow gets his body in the way. Oh, and the back pass. Gyökeres under the challenge of Pope. It's going to be a penalty. Penalty for Arsenal. Jared Gillett points to the spot. Newcastle dealt with the first ball, but then it went back, and Gyökeres ran onto it. In a flash, he was there, away from Nick Pope. He was heading away from goal. The ball went away from goal, but Jared Gillett says penalty. VAR will need to take a look, whatever. And there's going to be a card. It was a genuine attempt to play the ball, though, so surely it's going to be a yellow under the double jeopardy law. But Arsenal awarded a penalty after 14 minutes, 0-0 at St James's Park. Huge moment. VAR having a proper check now on the challenge as Newcastle, number of players, go to the referee to question the decision. Did Pope get man or ball?
It's a poor back pass, isn't it? Murphy plays it. What do you think?
He's come out to get it. He gets a toe on the ball first, though, doesn't he? And then catches Gyökeres. That might be what they're looking at, but we don't we're not hearing the VAR conversation. What about you? Could it be overturned?
Yeah, I think it could be.
Well, he might have got a toe on the ball, and Jared Gillett's told to go and look at the monitor, the referee review area on the far side of the pitch. This might be about to be overturned. He had a couple of seconds to think about it. At such speed, it's difficult. The ball's gone.
I tell you what, if it's against you,
yeah.
But if that's fight, you're shouting penalty all day long, aren't you?
Yeah, everyone would be, because there's contact between Pope and Gyökeres. It's just whether he touches the ball first.
But what I'm saying is, if that's at the other end, you're shouting that's a nailed-on penalty.
Absolutely. But
I think this will be overturned.
That'll be why Darren England, the VAR's told Jared Gillett to go and have a look, because he's saying he's surrounded by players. There's about 3 or 4.
His knee catches him
from each team. But does he get? Again, it's probably about the ball first.
His knee catches him though.
Jared Gillett still taking a look, still communicating with the VAR, the fourth official. Has gone to speak to Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. Don't often get referees sticking with the original decision after receiving a recommendation to review it. But we are waiting. Dan Burns talking to Emre
how long does it take him? How long does it take him?
Nick Pope is in the middle of Newcastle's half. Referee with hands on hips, still watching. Pretty much everybody else is next to the referee. They're all looking at the screen. The assistant referee is trying to act as a buffer and keep players away. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. BBC Radio Newcastle. St James's Park, with the volume levels increasing all the time as we wait for the decision to be made. Will it be a penalty for Arsenal, or will it be overturned? Jared Gillett now is going to announce the decision. Now he's made the VAR symbol with his hands.
After review, the Newcastle goalkeeper plays the ball and there is no foul.
No penalty. After a review, the Newcastle goalkeeper plays the ball. There is no foul. Mikel Arteta rubs his hands across his face and is laughing. He cannot believe the decision. I don't think he's seen the replays. Look, there's clearly contact between them. But it's clearly the fact that Nick Pope got the ball first, John Anderson.
Yeah, Jacob Murphy will be really the most relieved man here, because it's a really poor back pass.
Same old Arsenal, always cheating, in the Newcastle fans. It's a bit harsh, but they will be delighted, because Arsenal had started well, could have been ahead, and now Newcastle don't have to face a penalty. Gyökeres is doing. Look, Gyökeres has just lost out in a challenge to Joelinton. He's getting booed. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. He has been taken down. It's just after the ball was played. But if they need a pantomime villain, then, well, let it be him today. And this place is at its best when it's angry, and it's angry. But how do the team need to settle into the match, Ando, as Livramento heads the ball back to Pope?
It's been a lively start. It's been decent from both sides, to be fair.
Burn out of Saka. Is Burn at left back in 19 minutes played? Is it working for you?
I just don't get it. I really don't.
Arsenal fans, I'm sure, will remember the Anthony Gordon goal a couple of years ago and the controversy there, and now they've got another one to be unhappy about. Baltimore challenging with Timber, physical play in the corner. Newcastle have got it through Gordon, and Joelinton now to Bruno, has to go back to halfway to Botman. There is, we mentioned it, that these games really have something, some spice, and often controversy, and Arsenal will feel that there is more controversy again. Up to Gordon from Botman. Joelinton back through for Gordon, but well recovered. Mosquera to clear, then Gordon heads on looking for Baltimore. Bruno's got it, needs to look to the space, and it's on the right, and he picks out a great ball to Livramento. 30 yards out, Tino Livramento. Murphy makes an overlapping run. It's passed inside to Bruno, then it's out to the touchline to Murphy. Rolls it to Joelinton, edge of the area, on towards Bruno. Arsenal play it back, and Murphy blocks the clearance from Gabriel. They're claiming handball, but it's goal kick only.
No, it's corner kick.
Is it a corner? I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. I thought it had hit Murphy and gone behind last. Gabriel's clearance on Murphy, onto the chest of Gabriel. Another Newcastle corner. All but one of them has been on that far side. This is their 5th, 0-0. Sandro Tonali delivers again, headed away by Calafiore. Livramento just helps it down to Gordon, left of centre. Gordon with a high ball to the right corner, looking for Tonali. Calafiore wins it. Bruno's got it now. Chance to deliver across again. Tonali instead played a short pass to Bruno. It wasn't controlled, and Rice clears. Now Gyökeres backing into Murphy. And Saka looking for Gyökeres again, but the Swede can't control. United throw 10 yards from halfway, taken by Livramento, and now Chow and the back four are all in position. Everybody getting back to where they should be playing following the set piece. 22nd minute. Bruno fouled by Rice. Free kick. Bruno along with Voltemada wearing long sleeves today, everybody else in short sleeves. It's quite a mild afternoon still, isn't it?
Guimaraes has got long sleeves on.
Yeah, Bruno and Voltemada.
Yeah, Voltemada, yeah. It's not that cold.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Up to Murphy. Tries to take it down near to the corner. Calafiore's dispossessed him and rolled it inside to goalkeeper Raya. Chow backpedaling, climbs and heads away, stops Gyökeres getting the ball. Eza for Arsenal now to Zubimendi, moved on to Saka. Timbers inside in the box. Saka goes on the outside, it's blocked by Gordon, and it'll be a corner kick. There's a second ball on the pitch. The assistant referee comes onto the field to remove it as Saka puts the other one down. Raya's on halfway, the goalkeeper. Every black and white shirt in the box. Arsenal, they were noted for their set pieces, lots of goals last season. They've got nobody in the 6-yard box. They've got a couple near the penalty spot, everybody else round the back, but right back. And now Gabriel's in the box, and the players make a move towards the goal. Saka sends it long. Trossard brings it down, controlled for Rice, 30 yards out. Zubimendi back to Rice, further away from goal with that pass. Trossard pulled down by Bruno, free kick, but it's not quite in the final third, maybe just on the edge of it. And they forced Arsenal away from goal there. I'm not sure what they were thinking with that corner kick routine. 0-0.
Well, I don't know, they're thinking of a lot of corner kicks, because when you see them taken.
Eddie Howe is with Jason Tyndall in the technical area. Howe points to some things out that he spotted on the pitch as his players prepare to defend the free kick. They are in a line through the D. Arsenal, they've still got 5 round the back. Now they run across into the middle. Rice clips it in. Gyökeres the target, headed across into the 6-yard box and headed wide at the near post by Calafiore, the pony-tailed Italian defender. Up from the back.
Yeah, angle
2
was
Arsenal
always
headers.
wrong, wasn't it?
Gyökeres to Calafiore and wide.
Never scoring from that angle.
Nick Pope. It was a really good save, wasn't it, from Eze's shot
save
early on.
Yeah, it was a great save.
Joelinton header forwards. Voltemada challenging with Gabriel. Joelinton's got it back and found Voltemada. Good strength. Oh, and he's still going, Nick Voltemada. Lovely feet in the corner. There's 2 on him. Arsenal win it back. It's a fair challenge. And clearance intercepted now by Botman. but going to be collected by Saka. Timber up the line, Chow's on the near side with Gyökeres, back to Saka. Newcastle a bit stretched here, very stretched. Rice with Trossard to his left, played in by Rice. Leandro Trossard hits the post. Trossard hits the post at the near side. Newcastle look to counter-attack. Joelinton to Gordon, it remains 0-0. Gordon on his way up the near side, Newcastle's left wing, Voltemada in the middle. Gordon cuts inside, low curling shot straight at Ryan.
Got nothing on it though, did he? It's a poor effort in the end. But they broke with pace at the other end, didn't they? Dear oh dear, how quickly did they move that ball?
Saka's pass, once it took out Bruno, then they had the extra players. Trossard smacked the front of the post and it's come out. Gyökeres chasing this long ball up the pitch. Botman is there first, trying to see it out, and it goes out. And he decides not to take a quick throw. 26th minute. Your assessment of what we've watched so far, please, John Anderson.
It's been enjoyable. There's been plenty to like about it. Ooh, just seeing that again, that's some hit. Nick Pope doesn't move, flies by him, smacks the post.
It's the best Arsenal have played at St James's Park for well, a good couple of years. Last league win was at the end of the what was a couple of seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. It's been a problem coming here for them, but not today. Still 0-0 though in Newcastle, with 4 clean sheets from their 5 Premier League matches so far. Have kept another clean sheet up to this point, but it's been closed because Arsenal have hit the post. They've had one that was destined for the bottom corner, brilliantly saved by Pope, and they had a penalty awarded, but the decision overturned after a VAR review and a referee review at the monitor. And we keep seeing the penalty incident on replay screens. Mikel Arteta did look at it because he's got a TV in the away dugout, and he's adamant it should have been a penalty.
Well, he would be.
Exactly. A couple of headers in midfield. It's now at the edge of Newcastle's box. It's come off Tonali for Saka. Burn stops him running into the area. Bruno makes a challenge, then Timber finds Eza. Left-footed shot from Eberechi Eza, off balance just at the edge of the area, blocked and out on the far side. Haven't really got their attacking game going, Newcastle. They've got to have the ball, of course, but counter-attacks...
They haven't had it going all season, right?
Yeah.
Because they haven't scored goals.
But obviously they've not played like this with these players yet, have they? There's not been... they've not had this lineup, this formation, this personnel. Now, Arsenal, it's 0-0, about to take a throw. Ricardo Calafiore went to get a towel. I don't know if it's Nick Pope's towel. The referee's run over and confiscated it. That's what he's done. Calafiore sends it into the box. It's a bouncing ball, half cleared. Eza!
Oh, what a save
again! Nick Pope has twice denied Eberechi Eza with brilliant saves. This time diving to his right, mid-height, firm hands from Pope to push it away. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. Somehow.
What a save! It's a great strike, full on the volley, strong hands.
Anyway, you're not allowed to use a towel to dry the ball. I don't know where he got it from.
Got it from behind the goal.
Same old Arsenal, always cheating, is the chant again. The dark arts. Newcastle are sometimes accused of that, employing the dark arts. Arsenal might well be the masters of them, depending on your point of view. Another long throw from Calafiore. It's into the 6-yard box. Chow's header. Eza gave Gordon a nudge. He's still down, Anthony Gordon. It's cleared. No free kick. Zubimendi near to the centre circle. Rice. You listen to BBC Radio Newcastle and the BBC Sounds app live from St James's Park. Brought down by Timber in the corner. Cross deflects behind off Tonali. Arsenal corner kick. Very definitely the better side. Looking like a really good team, which we know they are. in the opening 30 minutes. They've now got Bukayo Saka on corner kick duty again. On this near side between the Milburn and the Gallagher end. Everybody watching, waiting for the ball to come in. Saka's left foot towards the back post. They've got a player free. It's Trossard headed against Botman. Trossard with a deflected cross. Pope's coming and pats it down and gathers at the second attempt under pressure. Now Pope with a kick. Gordon, look at the pace from Gordon, but Raya is well positioned to clear it out of play, and Gordon certainly put everything into that. Raya's starting position very good, leaving his box to clear. Dan Burn's got the ball. Eddie Howe's having a chat with it before he takes the throw. Haven't dealt well with the set pieces, have they? The throws, the corners.
No, it's been. You just feel it could come down to set pieces as well for either side.
Another Newcastle throw. Middle of Arsenal's half this time. Burn to Joelinton. It's a ball that's reared up and he's not able to keep it. And one back, and here goes Saka in behind Burn, who's trying to keep up with him and has just about got there. Burn, Saka into the box on the near side. Pope dives.
Tell you what, Pope's been brilliant.
Push it behind. It was a shot. It wasn't.
Could be
corner,
3.
But Dan Burn is on his knees in the area after that long bursting run to catch up with Saka. That's, I'd say, comfortable for Pope, but it needed
still
saving.
Got to make it though.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas the others, the two from Eza, highly impressive. Now the Newcastle set piece coach Martin Mark is out directing a couple of players for this one defensively, looking at the way Arsenal have set up. It is pretty similar. Players at the back of the 6-yard box, 1 on the penalty spot, 3 around the area. And Saka again delivers to the back of the 6-yard box, but he's beaten them all, so Newcastle didn't really have to do anything there. Maybe the set piece coach deserves the credit.
That's relief. Well, deserves the credit because Saka's over hit the corner.
Well, maybe they were well marshalled in the middle. Nobody could get on the end of it.
Well, nobody in the middle is getting onto that where it landed.
Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. The away side have had a penalty decision overturned after Jared Gillett thought Victor Gyökeres was fouled, but he looked at the monitor and changed his mind, and Leandro Trossard's hit the post. Dan Burn gets up and heads on. He's in the Arsenal half. Maybe that was the instruction from Eddie Howe for Burn to go forwards from goal kicks. Botman, Gordon was pulled back there as Arsenal headed it clear. Now Burn chipping it in behind. Christian Mosquera across. Oh dear! He sliced his back pass and it's gone straight behind for a corner instead of going to the feet of Raya.
He took a chance.
Picked the ball up, brought it into the box, and the referee's telling him not to delay the restart.
There's nobody there to take it.
Gordon having a word with Jared Gillett. He was clearly tugged back. It was a definite pull of the shirt. Tonali from the left, 34 minutes played. 2 on the edge of the area. Again, Burn and Voltemada close to the goalkeeper. Bruno makes a run front post. It's gone short to Gordon, back to Tonali. Here's the cross. Looking for Voltemada! Nick Voltemada! On the end of Tonali's cross after the short corner. And the big German gets another goal and another with his head. To get it into the right areas, goal-scoring areas. Voltemada can get on the end of them. Arsenal complain about something. They think there was a foul. But Nick Voltemada has his second Newcastle United goal. And it's Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 0, very much against the run of play after 35 minutes.
Well, I said set pieces would play a huge part in it, didn't I? I said it could come down to set pieces. It's well worked. It's so well worked. They go short. The delivery from Tonali is brilliant. Great header.
I don't know what they are complaining about. There can't be an offside. He's 6 yards out. There's defenders behind him. I don't think Baltimore there's any contact from a defender on him. It's a little push on Gabriel.
You can't disallow that.
Definitely a goal. Definitely a goal. Do you know what it reminds me of? The Gordon goal 2 seasons ago.
No, it's not as bad as that.
Hang on. When Joe Linton had his arm on the back, same player, Gabriel. Arsenal will scream and scream about a foul, but they didn't get it then and they don't get it there. And Baltimore for Newcastle. Yes, he plays deep, but when the delivery's right, he loves those, and he put it away well. 1-0.
Oh, it's a great header. Great delivery. It's a fabulous delivery. It's a well-worked corner kick. They go short. Arsenal switch off. They don't send 2 people out. And the delivery in from Tonali is so inviting.
The complaints continue. It's going to be an Arsenal corner from the kickoff. Baltimore and Gabriel are there. Gabriel is... Referee's wagging his finger and saying to Gabriel, come here. Still complaining and arguing with Baltimore, who had a running battle with Bournemouth's Bafodi Diakite last week after he thought he was fouled and should have had a penalty. Gabriel's now gone away. Jared Gillett, the referee, with goal scorer Baltimore. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Same old Arsenal always cheating on repeat. Full blast around St James's Park. BBC Radio Newcastle and the BBC Sounds app. Corner at the Gallagher end from Rice. Now, having just scored, they have to protect their own goal. Rice to take this one, and we know his delivery is really good. Whipped in towards the back post. Botman heads away. Trossard and Tonali chase it. Tonali's got there before Trossard, who's taken a tumble. It's out about 40 yards from the goal. They're going to take the throw in a bit further up, actually. Not sure it went out there, but Timber has it in his hands. Back to Mosquera. And it came about because Mosquera completely miskicked the back pass. Joe Linton putting pressure on now. Mosquera with a good back pass to Raya. And away, this time from the keeper. Byrne beats Timber in the air. Bruno on his chest, looking for Gordon. Takes it back. Won by Arsenal for Saka from Timber's challenge on Gordon. And Zubimendi, the little midfielder, square to Rice, has come to get it. Sense of urgency about Arsenal now. They should have been ahead. They played well. But Nick Baltimore has scored for Newcastle United. Timber to Saka. His boots on the touchline. Back inside to Timber. Mosquera to Gabriel. Carries it forwards a few yards. Goes out to the left touchline to Calafiori. Back to Rice. And Mosquera on halfway. In the centre. Rice has got it. Square across the halfway line to Zubimendi. Swept up and out to Saka. Two to take on. Gordon there and Byrne as well. Saka comes infield. Gordon's all over him. No foul. It's come back to Timber. Arsenal still have it. Gordon looks like he's hurt himself in the challenge. Botman on Eza. Newcastle come away with the ball. Now Gordon caught there by Timber, and the referee's got to stop it here, and does, and tells everybody to calm down. Saka wagging his finger at the referee.
He's right as well. That's not a free kick. Gordon just throws himself to the floor and the referee buys it.
I just wonder if it was for the challenge on Saka as well in that passage of play. Gordon's back up.
How was that a free kick?
Yeah, Timber's coming. Looks like he's pushed the ball away from the first replay we've seen, but it's Newcastle's decision. They lead 1-0. Gordon up to Baltimore and back again, laid off for Tonali, who gets away from his man. Ball hits the referee, doesn't it? Newcastle play on. Baltimore on to Tonali, who gave it and then went. and looks for Bruno in the penalty area. Bruno back out wide left, inside to Voltemada, holds off the defender. Short ball to Gordon. They've done all that in a tight area under pressure. Tonali clips it in. Arsenal head clear, and Saka now to Trossard, and Botman wins it. He's played it against Tonali and taken Tonali out, and Arsenal with a quick pass up the pitch to Gyökeres just outside the area, now into the box with Chow, who defends brilliantly. Gyökeres got the yard of space for the shot, but as he came in again, Malik Chow stayed big and won it back, and Tonali now in possession in midfield. The supporters in black and white are loving this, the desire and the effort. It's such a competitive game again, and it's Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0, Lando.
Yeah, good game, quality. Tonali on his hunkers, you just hope he's okay.
He might put it out actually, Botman does, because he was off his own teammate, and he just took I don't know if he took it clean in the face, but they just need to check on him. Arsenal are going to bring players across and take advantage of the break in play, which he probably wouldn't have wanted with how the atmosphere is and how Newcastle are in the lead somehow. Wanting to really crank up the intensity even further. Arsenal have played some brilliant football. They've had some big chances. There's the penalty decision overturned, but the only goals come from Nick Voltemada.
Yeah, I mean Pope's been brilliant. It could have been 3 before, but the goal's a peach of a goal. It's so well worked.
BBC Radio Newcastle on the BBC Sounds app, and if you have a smart speaker, ask it to play BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll be with you after the match as well, until about 7, to discuss the game and reflect on what we've witnessed. We've witnessed plenty so far, and there's still 3 minutes now of the first half remaining, then additional time, then the second half. Nick Voltemada, 2 goals for Newcastle United in 5 appearances. Sandro Tonali is off the pitch. He's had a drink from a water bottle. He's going to have to wait to come back on. Arsenal throw the ball back to Nick Pope, and he picks it up. An underarm throw to Malik Chow. Great defending from Chow when Gyökeres might have been in before.
Gyökeres didn't know where he was going, didn't know what he was doing.
Here's Botman. Burn under pressure, it's tight on the near side, back to Botman, then away it goes. Voltemada can't get there, headed away by Gabriel, but speaking Saka, United ball at left back from the throw. Tonali's back on. Burn to Joelinton, header on for Voltemada. It's a bouncing ball, it's pushed back, and Dan Burns got to it first. Sticks it out wide and clips it up the line, but nobody was there, nobody running. Gathered by Raya, then from his hands, dropped out at the feet of Rice. Still with Arsenal and England midfielder Declan Rice deep in his own half, up to Saka on halfway. Dan Burn all over him. Saka wins the free kick.
Nearly ran over.
They applied the pressure, but too much pressure. Arsenal have restarted it. 44 minutes play. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Gabriel to Rice, and Calafiori brings it inside, away from Murphy from the far touchline. Zubimendi, who looks like a very good player, doesn't he? Finds the head of Timber, and that's handball, is it, by Saka? Referee gave it, the assistant didn't get his flag out. Edge of the penalty area. Martin Zubimendi, 56 million from Real Sociedad in July.
He looks a player, doesn't he?
Started every match so far. He's You saw Barcelona's two midfielders, De Jong and Pedri, and the way that they just moved it quickly. Little touches, one-touch passes sometimes. Everything with unerring accuracy, and he's very much in that mould, isn't he?
Yeah.
Spanish international.
7 minutes.
Well, a minimum of 7 minutes. Dan Burn heads on from the free kick from Nick Pope. He was on the edge of the penalty area when he headed it on. Arsenal get it away. Gabriel climbs away from Voltemada. Botman and Joe Linton on his shoulder on the near side, up the line to Burn, who lifts it forwards. Now Mosquera out into the lower section of the Milburn stand. Got William Saliba on the bench, who would normally start. Saliba just signed a new contract with Arsenal this week. Mosquera played in the cup win at Port Vale on Wednesday. It's his place at centre-back. Newcastle, some appeals, not many, for the challenge on Gordon there. Nothing given, and it's cleared, and a United throw in their own half. Leading 1-0 though. Voltemada on 34. It would take them up to 8 and on to 9 points if they were able to win. Just one behind Arsenal, who have 10, but it's not done yet, obviously. But that's the latest, that's the live Premier League table. Into the second minute of the minimum of 7. Raya, ball on the floor, edge of the penalty area, rolled it around under his studs, and then decided to go long to Gyökeres, away by Botman. Rice first to the second ball. Saka onto Timber on his thigh, into the box, carried it forwards well, and slipped. And he's lost it to Joe Linton. Only Voltemada up ahead though. Murphy making a run. Joe Linton finds Voltemada, holds off Mosquera, back to Joe Linton and Gordon, away from one, then away from two, and down from Saka's challenge next to the Newcastle bench. Why would that not be a yellow card? That's what supporters and players are asking the referee. And there's not a lot of contact, but is it simply that, the amount of contact or the lack of?
Well, not every challenge is a yellow card, is it?
No, but just the fact that he stopped the run, the cynical nature of it.
Just so theatrical about it and all, mate.
Yeah. You would say he was looking.
He throws
for it.
himself, yeah.
And it's a shame, because he would have been in a really great position on his way towards goal. Tonali with the free kick from about halfway. Arsenal header. Livramento with Gyökeres behind him, and Gyökeres has backed in well and used the ball to find Saka. Arsenal have turned it around on Newcastle. He's gone down, Saka.
Oh, this referee's giving us everything.
Mikel Arteta at the Arsenal bench cannot believe it. Newcastle allowed to play on. Voltemada turning. Tonali's challenge as Saka drifted inside, nothing given. Eza holds off Voltemada, and then Trossard to Calafiori, 30 yards out. Gyökeres plays it straight to Chow, back to Pope, and it's out on the far side. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. But they feel once again they're not getting decisions, Arsenal. Zubamendi just ahead of the centre circle. We've played 4 minutes of additional time. 7 was shown. Calafiori slices his attempted volleyed cross behind. One thing that you would have said, you've probably observed about Arsenal, is that when it doesn't go their way, sometimes it starts to perhaps unravel a little bit. They started the game in great mood with great football, but often you feel like if it's not going for them, if decisions are going against them, it can really start to crumble a bit on the pitch. Still 45 minutes to go, but Newcastle will be happy with where things are right now.
Of course they will.
Yeah, but in terms of the direction of play, because earlier it was all Arsenal. Burn heads on. Zubamendi gets up over Voltemada and away, and then over the top looking for Gyökeres, but he was sandwiched between two defenders. Livramento, ball on the floor. Bruno up the line, but out. Calafiore with it. Scored the winner at Man United on opening weekend. Arsenal's only away win so far in the Premier League. Zubimendi on the near side, just behind halfway. Brought back into the middle. Rice receives it. And Voltemada gets his boot to that to stop it reaching its intended target. Gordon to Tonali, left wing. First touch from Tonali. The pressure here from Saka. Trying to turn. Plays it back to Bird. With a minute and a half remaining. Newcastle will give it to Nick Pope. It's got short to Botman. Eza closing down. Burn on the near touchline. Away it goes. Voltemada trying to back in. It's headed it on. Is that a foul? Newcastle thinks so. Nothing given. Calafiore on it here under pressure from Livramento. Back to Raya. Oh, that 1-0 lead through Voltemada's header after the short corner. Gabriel from Arsenal. I think the referee might get an earful from them at half-time. Eberici Eza on the halfway line. It's with Rice just to the left of the centre circle, trying to break the lines with a pass, and does. And Eza, and now Gyökeres, edge of the box. Bruno gets a boot to the ball. Let's come to Saka, far side of the area. Dan Burn intercepts, and Dan Burn clears. Big defending. Rice, 7 minutes of additional time almost up, still carrying Arsenal forwards, getting it back from Timber just outside the box. 1-0 to United. Gabriel could hit it, doesn't, chips it in straight onto Burns' head. Voltemada chests it. Tonali with a header. Joelinton's got Gordon. The 7 minutes are up. Newcastle able to play on. Anthony Gordon has a look, pings it over to Livramento. Could they get a second just before the half-time whistle? Livramento to Murphy in the penalty area. They've scarcely been in these positions all afternoon. Murphy's deep cross beats everybody, and there is the half-time whistle from Jared Gillett. Newcastle with a 1-0 lead over Arsenal. Some decisions going against the Gunners. Nick Pope with some big saves, but John Anderson, Nick Voltemada with the only goal.
Great goal, but we've got Nick Pope to thank for being in the position we're in, because Arsenal came out, we couldn't get the ball. Pope's made three big saves, three top-class saves to keep Arsenal scoreless. And then the corner kick is brilliant. They go short, Arsenal switch off, and there's the delightful ball. Tonali just swings it into an area, and it's a similar goal to the one that he got against Wolves. It's a great header. There's still plenty of football to be played in this yet.
Yeah, what about the big talking point with the penalty? It's not just that, there's other decisions Arsenal aren't happy with. They complained after the goal, I'm not sure what about, but that might be the one that is reviewed and replayed constantly. But the referee was advised, having given it on the pitch, to go and have a look, and he overturned the decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looked like Nick Pope got something on the ball. He did catch him, but he got something on the ball first. He looked at it, decided it wasn't a penalty, so it wasn't a penalty.
Loads to discuss. Send us your messages for half time on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. 08000 321 333. Just put BBC at the start. On X it's at BBC Newcastle, or if you prefer to text an SMS message, you need to start it with BBC. Nice short number for text messages, 81333. Second half will be live right here on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. For many reasons, a gripping first half, but most importantly of all, a good first half in terms
6'2", 6'3" centre back. Little hand in the back goes down like that.
So that's the Arsenal change. Saliba for Mosquera. So Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubamendi, Rice, Eza, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard, and Newcastle. Pope in goal, and we were wrong about the lineup, the formation at the start of the match. Pope, Livramento, Chow, Botman, Byrne, Bruno Tonali, Joelinton, Murphy, Voltemada, and Gordon. And it's Bruno, black and white stripes against Arsenal's red and white shirts. He kicks us underway. United shooting down the hill towards Gallagher end in the first half. In the second half, sorry, and that 45 minutes, now 15 seconds old as Murphy and Livramento close down on the edge of the Arsenal area, away there by Calafiori. Tonali wins a header, and Livramento gets turned away from Calafiori. Livramento plays in Murphy, right side of the penalty area. Voltemada, surely! Oh! Nick Voltemada off the bar. Eddie Howe puts his hands on his head. I think they've given offside, have they? They've given offside, must be against Murphy.
Tell you what, he'd be relieved, Voltemada.
Well, it's a let-off for Arsenal, but also it gets Newcastle of a bit of a mess, because Voltemada, it came to him slowly in the box, he had a touch, stabbed it towards goal, clipped the top of the bar. Murphy must have been offside.
Well,
yeah, they did flag for offside. Well, that would have been some start to the second half. Thousands of supporters are yet to return to their seats. And those that are in their seats would have been off them again if Voltemada had hit the net. 1-0 up through his first half goal. United with another throw on the right in their half of the pitch. The clouds have cleared and we've got beautiful blue skies now. On BBC Radio Newcastle at St James's Park, Newcastle City Centre. We're also on BBC Sounds for the Magpies' perspective on this match. Joelinton with a header on, Gabriel heads away, it bounces, and it's Gyökeres, and then Tonali lifts it forwards, and Voltemada looks to chase. Gabriel to Calafiori on the turn, it's gone out. The Newcastle near side, the right-hand side. Livramento to Bruno, back again, inside, given away. Zubamendi there, knocked down by Gyökeres, Eza stopped by Tonali. Rice towards Trossard, away from sliding challenge from Tino Livramento. Raya lets it go behind, picks it up. Is there anything tactically you think Newcastle can do to make the second half different?
Exactly what's happened at the start of the second half. Yeah. Make it scrappy.
Yeah.
Make it scrappy.
Chow lets the ball run through to Pope, but it's slowed down at the edge of the area, and Pope has to clear it first time. Away by Arsenal, Dan Byrne pants a header on it. Calafiori back to his goalkeeper. Voltemada and Murphy putting pressure on Raya. Joelinton's got his toe onto the goalkeeper's ball out from the back and played it to Gordon, who's coming from deep. Gordon couldn't take it, and they've lost it to Arsenal on that far side. Gordon, it's interesting how he stayed deep when Arsenal were playing it out at the back. Normally he would lead the press, but he didn't. Then got on it from deep after Joelinton won it, but lost it.
Yeah, Arsenal trying to play out from the back, give it away. It's been a scrappy start to the second half. It's what we want. We wanted 100 mile an hour. You don't want Arsenal getting into a rhythm like they got into at the start of the first half.
Playing it across the back, but that back line is high up. It's near to halfway. Saliba to the left. Gabriel Magalhães. The Brazilian's ball. It's a good one. Clipped out to the right wing from the left on the diagonal. Timber gets tackled by Gordon, then gets it back. Now Zubamendi for Rice. Only Baltimore ahead of the ball in black and white. Arsenal within 30 yards of Newcastle's goal to the left here. Zubimendi looking right and looking left, then goes backwards to Gabriel. Plenty of discipline about the shape of 4-5-1. 1-0 lead for Newcastle. Played 5 minutes of the second half. Eza dropped into a different position there to receive it and roll it out to Saka. Inside it comes to Timber, 30 yards out, hits the shins of Joe Linton. Saliba first to the ball. Zubimendi. Arsenal, patient build-up. Rice. Zubimendi, centre of Newcastle's half. Tonali's after it. Back to Gabriel. They push up a bit, but Arsenal play it between the lines. Trossard out to Calafiori. Gyökeres goes for the header near post, and it'll be a corner. Or is it? Yeah, it is a corner. Livramento there.
This is what you don't want. You don't want Arsenal to get into a flow again, do you?
The flow, and then the routine of regular set pieces like in the first half. Declan Rice, corner kick taker. It tends to be Saka from the right, Rice from the left, both in swinging corner kick deliveries. That's what we've seen and what we'd expect here. Everybody is defending. Baltimore in front of Nick Pope. Arsenal players making their move from the back of the box. Rice's delivery, it's hit Bruno in the middle, and then Sven Botman stabbed it clear to halfway. Raya on the diagonal, back in, but too long. Caught by Nick Pope. And they're not booing, they're telling Pope to shoot because Raya's still well out of his goal, but he didn't. So they've gone out to the left. Burn to Joelinton. Gordon comes short. Back to Chow. And now to the goalkeeper. Nothing silly. Wasn't anything obvious on Pope with a long pass. Baltimore can't get there. Saliba first to the ball. Big Dan Burn away. Gordon trying to get after this. It bounces near to Gordon and Timber. Touched on by the Newcastle forward. But it's now an Arsenal throw at right back in the 53rd minute. Thrown to Rice, back to Timber, went out. Newcastle's ball, an extra noise requested by Bruno. The supporters in the east stand on the far side respond. They sing Bruno's name. Into the box to Baltimore, headed back to Bruno, tries to lay it off to Joelinton. Arsenal play it clear. It's incredible skill from Saka. Then a ball in behind Botman, but Chow is covering, gets the cross, rolls it back to Nick Pope, the goalkeeper. It's a long ball, but Baltimore started offside. Couldn't go for the ball. Raya rolls it out in a different phase of play now. Raya gets it back from Saliba. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0, edge of the area. Gabriel to Saliba. Bruno's close by. Back to Raya. 4 Newcastle bodies on the edge of the box. Raya decides to miss them out with a long ball. Zubimendi and Burn. Zubimendi got up well. Great leap in front of Burn, who's now got it on his chest, and he lifts it away out for throw. Joelinton dispossesses Eza. Jacob Murphy back of the centre circle. That's a good looking ball by Murphy. There's 2 balls on the pitch. Newcastle playing on. Tonali for Gordon in the area. Gordon rolls it across the 6-yard box, just away from Baltimore. Arsenal with a back pass, which was a bit risky. They've been able to clear. Now Tonali dispossesses Eza, who recovers. He's done superbly well to recover. They've cleared the second ball off the pitch. Eza's pass out to Saka on the far side, now into Rice, edge of the penalty area. Trouble here with Trossard and the cross, and Eza over the top. Off balance, went for the spectacular shot on the volley with his left, but it's way over the top.
Yeah, it was behind him, was it? Couldn't dig it out.
all alone on the penalty spot. What about that Gordon run and pass? Baltimore was close, but not close enough.
Yeah, good ball played across goal, wasn't it? Just rolled straight across the 6-yard box. Nobody coming in on it.
Baltimore, I think, was the sort of corner of the 6-yard box. Haven't seen it again. Gordon rolled it. It was ahead of him. And went to across goal. Nobody else able to get the loose ball. As Botman does well for Livramento. And he comes inside and is taken down by Calafiori. Referee reaches into his pocket for a yellow card for the Arsenal defender, which is met with the approval of the Newcastle fans here.
Yeah, I don't think you can have any complaints. I don't think the referee's done bad, actually. I think he's let things go.
And Jason Tindall are both out, and it's Tindall who now has the main responsibility for communication, with it being a set piece. Mikel Arteta is there, grey trousers, black overcoat, clapping his hands. Arsenal coach next to him is calling out instructions, defensive instructions. Tonali with the free kick 30 yards out on the right, rolls it to Murphy. He whips over a great ball into a good area, but it's an Arsenal head. Lovely curl on that one. Not too close to the keeper, but well defended. Gordon now taking on Saka, cuts in on his right, back to Joelinton, goes back on the outside. Joelinton, low shot. Joelinton, very nearly another Joelinton goal after 2 against Bradford in midweek. Cut back outside, went between players and drilled that one cross goal and wide of Raya's left-hand post. It was always pulling away from goal, but it had Raya worried, and from our angle it looked really close.
Yeah, it was a long way wide in the end. As you say, it was always drifting. Always drifting away from goal, but all it needed was a touch, you know. Again, just needed somebody gambling on that. You get a touch and you poke that into the net.
Big cheer there for a Dan Burn header from the left side of defence out on the near side in Arsenal's half. Back to Raya, long for Gyökeres, and there's Gyökeres and Botman in a good battle. Nick Pope leaves his box to clear. Straight to Calafiori. A nice first touch, and now Rice on halfway. Trossard back to Gabriel. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. 58th minute, and the goal from Baltimore came on 34. Zubimendi back in the centre circle for the feet.
Looks a good player, doesn't he?
Trossard on the turn. Dan Burn stops his former Brighton colleague playing a cross-field pass to get an Arsenal player in. Burn just got his head to the ball, out for a throw. It's now back in play. Newcastle with Miley, Elanga, Barnes warming up, among others. Trossard in the corner. Trippier and Lascelles are there doing some stretches. Arsenal edge of the final third. Calafiori inside to Zubimendi. Really does keep it moving, as does this man, Declan Rice. Timber to Saka, 2 to take on, back inside to Timber, space to run into, laid off to Eza, sidesteps one, Eza with a ball to the edge of the area, then Zubimendi chips it into the box, and Nick Pope gets down to make a really important save at full stretch. Newcastle look to the assistant referee, maybe for offside, but it's a corner for Arsenal.
He's having one today, isn't he?
Dinked in.
He's having an absolute blinder.
Then headed down. Eza did so well. Lay off to Zubimendi. Now who got the header? Was it Timber? Might have been the fullback who'd continued the run into the box. Yes, it was. And Pope, when you're that big, you've got to get down quickly in the corner. Another great save. Arsenal have taken the corner. Zubimendi curling cross, headed into the centre of the box. They've got a player down, then a shot over the top, and then Trossard, who hit the deck, runs after the referee. No complaints from Mikel Arteta, in fairness, on the touchline. And Jared Gillett says no, nothing.
For what?
Trossard continues to shout in his direction. An hour gone, Newcastle lead 1-0. Mikel Arteta's now making the VAR, the TV screen, signal with his hands to the fourth official, who shakes his head. I saw him hit the floor, but I don't know what it was about.
No, people just fall all over the place, and as soon as people fall over, the crowd, oh, it's got to be a penalty, it's got to be a free kick.
Still leading 1-0 United here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Back to Raya, Jacob Murphy over and into the middle quickly as Livramento closes down Calafiore. Long it goes. Chow gets his body in the way, gets on the ball, plays it back to Nick Pope. We've had another hour of Malik Chow in central defence. Ando, have you liked what you've seen?
Yeah, both centre backs have been excellent today.
Anthony Elanga has come back to the bench on his own. Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall continue a pitch-side conversation. Ball went out from Nick Pope's forward pass. Arsenal throw. Gabriel slammed it forwards. It hit Rice rather than him controlling it, but they've kept
Don't think
possession.
it was meant for Rice.
Timber up to Saka. Byrne and Gordon trying to win the ball back. Gordon's all over Saka, he's held him off. I mean, he's used to that sort of attention. Bukayo Saka, he's dealt with it really well. Now Rice onto Calafiore. Murphy getting back. Missed the other night with an ongoing Achilles problem. Just keeping an eye over his shoulder at Calafiore. Arsenal have gone up the other flank, the right. And it's Timber with a cross. Calafiore's come in. Taken a touch on the ball in the box, out of the area now with Rice. Murphy did have it covered. He was back with him. It's Eza up to the feet of Trossard, onto Gyökeres, but cleared by United. And Arsenal having a spell of pressure here, but still the only goal from Nick Baltimada.
Yeah, it's not the first time today you've said that, is it? Having a spell of pressure. Scoreline says different though.
It's always the most important statistic. Timber back to Saliba. Every Arsenal player in Newcastle's half. The furthest man back is this one, Gabriel, next to the centre circle to Saliba. It's what you expected might happen, it's what you didn't want to happen. Botman and then Chow after they look for Gyökeres in the box. Chow's clearance, it's gone for a throw. It's probably the way the second half was going to go. Here are Arsenal again with Rice and Calafiore with support from Trossard close by on the left wing. Zubimendi taken off him by Tonali. Livramento's giving it straight back to Arsenal. Pope comes and tries to land on the ball. Malik Chow didn't think he was going to get there and lifts it out for a throw, which Arsenal have taken. Couple of nervy moments at the back. Trossard to Rice, still on this near left-hand side Arsenal. 64th minute. Zubimendi to Saka, cleared by Botman. Baltimada tries to compete for the ball. William Osula's going to come on, so is Anthony Elanga. They're going to get plenty of speed out there. Baltimada looks absolutely shattered. Gordon's won it back on the far side. Now help from Joe Linton. Up the line, but stayed in, and Arsenal have got it back. Trippier is also going to be introduced. It's going to be a triple change. Arsenal trying to equalise before then. They've lost at edge of the area. Jacob Murphy to Bruno. Murphy carries on his run. Bruno finds him. Jacob Murphy one-on-one with Raya in the area, left side, deflected, and it's a corner. Murphy carried Newcastle's hopes there all the way into the box, and Raya didn't have to make the save because the deflection came in. It's a corner on the left. He puts his hands on his head.
Great break.
Ruining that opportunity, but he did so well. And credit Arsenal and Declan Rice for getting back to him.
Yeah, Rice tracked them all the way, didn't they?
Imagine if they score here. I wonder if they'll change the planned substitutions. It's going to be 3. Here's the corner to the near post. It's flat and cleared away easily by the first defender. It was Tonali's delivery. Gordon's out to it, back on halfway. And rather than playing it to Pope, he sent it long for Byrne to head on. Byrne down at the edge of the area. Newcastle are adamant that should be a free kick. Players, fans, coaching staff, nothing given. It's one you'd want to see again. Chow, great first touch, then a volleyed pass forwards, then Burns caught Gabriel. And the referee's given that decision. Arsenal get a free kick. Why did Newcastle not get one? What do you think?
I don't think he's let an awful lot go today, the referee.
Calafiori on Byrne.
Yeah, had a hold of his shirt.
Anthony Gordon, the first player off. Kieran Trippier is coming on. I think they're going to go with a 5 at the back now, aren't they? Livramento's gone to the left. Jacob Murphy replaced by Anthony Elanga in the second change.
23, Jacob Murphy. To be replaced by number 18, William Osula.
And William Osula comes on for Nick Baltamada. 66 minutes now on BBC Radio Newcastle. Nick Baltamada got the winner on his debut against Wolves. We don't know if that one will be the winner, but it was a delightful ball in and he finished it really well with the header.
Yeah, he's played well again today. As I said, for such a big fella, he's got great feet.
He's still adapting to the Premier League, he's still learning, isn't he? Still early days. Arsenal have played the free kick. So yeah, Trippier, Chow. So Pope in goal, Trippier, Chow, Botman, Byrne, Livramento, 3 centre-backs. Elanga, Bruno, Tonali, Joelinton, who's on the left. Trippier first touch is the header. Diagonal ball back to Pope, and Osula up front. 2 goals the other night. He came on and scored against Liverpool, a goal that almost rescued a point, Ando with 10 men. But a big show of faith in him in a match like this. 1-0 lead. Here's Osula, making life difficult for Calafiori. It's an Arsenal throw. We know he can run, and he can run exceptionally quickly. What else does he need to do?
Score.
In this environment, though, in terms of the play and the tactical awareness, that kind of thing.
Second goal would be nice.
Calafiori lobs the long throw up the line. Chow, that was a push. Nothing given. Couple of headers. Oh, the ball's hit Tonali and fallen nicely for Eza. Now Botman gets his head to the ball, stronger than Gyökeres. Dan Burns sent Saka tumbling, nothing given. Livramento, good ball inside to Joelinton, who's looked to play a return pass for Livramento's forward run, but it's cut out. Inside by Arsenal to Gabriel. Mikel Merino's going to come on, the former Newcastle player. 1 season at St James's Park, 2017-18. And Gabriel Martinelli, their goal scorer of their late equaliser against Man City last weekend. He made a change at half-time, remember. Saliba coming on at the back. Zubamendi in the middle of midfield. There's runners in behind. Saka was one of them, headed away by United, only as far as Timber. And Joelinton's after him and the ball. And he gets neither, and Timber's done well and set it up for Saka. Deflected across the box. Botman takes it off the boot of Gyökeres, and Chow sticks it behind. Miscommunication after Botman intercepted, and then they looked a little bit uncertain of themselves. It's going to be an Arsenal corner. It could have been worse.
Yeah, Gyökeres just doesn't. He's not quick enough to react, is he? His touch is awful.
Saka's going off, but he has had an injury. And Calafiori will be replaced by Merino. Martinelli for Saka.
Also coming off, number 33, Ricardo Calafiori, to be replaced by number 23, Mikel Merino.
And They liked Mikel Merino when he was here, but Rafa Benitez didn't select him all that often.
He was only a young boy when he was here, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's 29 now. Got 9 goals for Arsenal last season. They often played him as a striker when they were without out-and-out centre forward. Then they went and spent 64 million on Gyökeres in the summer. He's on, and they've got a corner. Newcastle don't have the height of Voltemada. It's to the near post, but when it's flat like that, you don't need anyone to head it away. Kieran Trippier
You only need someone 4'2" to head that away.
A throw about 15 yards out. 20 minutes remaining. Hope you're enjoying the match here on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. It's a long Arsenal throw. A couple of touches on the ball, then whipped across the box. It's Gyökeres with the effort, and a corner is it a corner or is it a throw?
Corner.
It's a corner
kick
on the far side. It wasn't clear exactly where it had gone out. Yeah, because of our angle, but it went behind for a corner. It's off Joelinton, across goal. Another Arsenal set piece then. Rice puts his left arm in the air with his right boot into the middle of the 6-yard box, into the hands of Nick Pope. Just what Newcastle wanted.
Yeah, goalkeepers all day, isn't it? Middle of the penalty area. Just stretch up, pull it out of the air.
Joelinton comes to get it off Botman, gives it straight back to him. Bruno facing his own goal to Pope. Away, left-footed by the keeper. Livramento's had to come into midfield here and head it on, looking for Elanga and Osula, and he's been caught in the challenge. And Jared Gillett awarded a free kick for Newcastle. Well, a reminder, we'll be on till 7 tonight to analyse the game. If you'd like to send us a message, text 81333, start your message with BBC. Or on WhatsApp, put BBC at the start, and a longer number for WhatsApp, 08000 321 333. 08000 321 333. And if you don't get on tonight, Total Sport North East back tomorrow, and every weekday evening between 6 and 8 on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. You can always catch up with Total Sport if you don't get to hear it live through the BBC Sounds app. Nick Pope preparing the free kick now. Middle of United's half. Burn, edge of the area. Chow's beyond him. It's well defended there by Saliba. On by Newcastle again. Then Burn with another header about 30 yards out. Away by Eza. Botman here facing his own goal. He's got 2 runners and he's defended it. And Livramento clears now. Elanga trying to use that speed. Elanga for Osula, maybe edge of the area. Osula gets around the defender and it's cleared. There are some appeals for a foul, I'm not sure for what. Bruno's then stopped the Arsenal counter-attack and punched the air after doing so. Livramento's down again and the match has been stopped. Did you see anything in that
No.
Elanga-Osula play?
No.
Livramento looks like he's actually hurt here and might have a significant problem in that I don't think he's going to be able to continue. Joelinton's got his arms around him. Bruno's come to see him. He's bent his left leg and his left knee. Now, he has had an ACL injury before. It was when he was at Southampton. And we don't know. We don't want to speculate, but they will obviously be aware of his injury history. Is it just the way that he landed there? Was it his right knee?
No, it's his left knee.
It is his left knee, even though he landed on his right foot.
I think he's just got a bang on that by the looks of it. He went up, he landed on his right.
74 minutes on the clock. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Treatment for Livramento, still on the bench. Lascelles, Barnes, Kraft, Willock and Miley. No Hall in the squad. Eddie Howe is now talking to Kieran Trippier, who came sprinting across. Emil Kraft seemingly be the player to come on if they need to make the change. I mean, you never want to lose player of the ability of Livramento. There's definitely a lot of concern about this. He's sitting up, he's communicating with the medical staff and his teammates. They're just taking every possible precaution, aren't they? Jamal Lascelles is going to come on. Dan Burn will probably have to go to left wing back. Lascelles, who came into the team as a substitute at Bournemouth in the 84th minute last Sunday for his first appearance in 18 months, and they need the stretcher for Tino Livramento, and hopefully this isn't as bad as it looks, but if he has to go off on a stretcher, then there's obviously a degree of severity about this injury, and you just have to hope that whatever it is, it's not the ACL injury again, which he sustained once before.
Yeah, fingers crossed for the boy.
Such a great player, and has been superb. For a long time now. He's lifted onto the stretcher. Fans have been calling his name. And this is never the way that any player wants to leave the pitch, or that you want to see any player leave the pitch. Taken up on a stretcher to a standing ovation. Went up for a header, collided with an opponent. Saliba, who leant in, had his arm in the back. Livramento hit the floor, studs into the floor, then he rolled over a couple of times. And now he leaves the pitch on a stretcher.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. It's nothing too serious, but something you don't like to see, is it?
Got his hands over his face. And they're going to take him down the steps, down the tunnel. Jamal Lascelles on for his second Premier League appearance. He was perhaps surprisingly left out the other night. Was an unused substitute in the Cup. He's not in the Champions League squad either, but he's on here in the 77th minute with Newcastle 1-0 up. And they just made the changes, Ando, and now they've got to rejig things because of Livramento going off the pitch. Lascelles wins his first challenge with Gyökeres. He's in the middle, Botman to the left and Chow to the right of the three centre-halves. Martinelli, edge of the area, quick feet, still got it. Digs out across to the back post. Zubimendi. Has that gone out?
No.
Arsenal. We've had one of those before against Arsenal. Cleared by Tonali. Now Raya leaves his box, comes to halfway to send it forwards. Trippier wants a free kick for a challenge. Arsenal have then made a mess of it out of Marino. One supporter near us, not happy with the referee.
Yeah, but he's the same every week.
Trippier with a throw at right back. Looking for Osula, away by Gabriel. It's gone out, it's Newcastle's ball. I mean, there's 12 minutes to play, Ando, and Arsenal, the way they started the game was powerful. They were really good. Big chances, penalty, decision overturned by VAR, all of that. Nick Pope's made one really important save low down at the start of the second half, but here's Joelinton for Elanga. We'll maybe come back to that. Another throw for Newcastle. How well placed are they to get over the line with 12 minutes remaining, 1-0 up?
Well, very well placed. I mean, they're 1-0 up. They've killed the tempo of Arsenal. It's stop-start. That's what you want. You don't want Arsenal to get a head of steam up. You don't want a tempo in the game.
Bruno loses it there after the throw. Trippier's won it back. And inside to Lascelles, lifted forwards. Ball for Osula or Elanga to chase, put out by Gabriel.
That's what you want. Just get it in the corner. Just get Arsenal turned round.
That's what I was getting at, because it's a very different game now in terms of the way it's being played. Often it is in the latter stages, but it's not all Arsenal like it was at the start. And You said they need to make it scrappy.
Yeah. You don't want Arsenal getting on the ball and passing it and pinning you in. You want it scrappy. You want it stop-start.
It's one of those TV cameras that's suspended from the roof on wires, and it's following the ball around, and Arsenal with a goal kick which they've taken after the Newcastle throw, but they've got to do it again. Nick Baltimore in the 34th minute, the only goal at St James's. Botman comes to win a clean header, uncontested. Masula was offside. Can't run after it. Now goes to close down Saliba. They've got his pace. They've got Elanga, fresh legs on as well. Back to Raya. Lascelles has done well. You like that with Gyökeres, and he's won 2 out of 2 challenges so far. Newcastle still with the ball. Joelinton to Bruno, left side of midfield. Back it goes to Botman inside to Lascelles. First time to Nick Pope. Oh, Pope sold the dummy to Gyökeres. I thought he was going to slip, but we should have more faith in him. Now Joelinton penalised for a challenge on Mikel Merino that sees the Spanish international on the floor. Eza in behind, Gyökeres, big chance, Botman sliding tackle, and then Newcastle scramble it behind for a corner. There's a goal kick.
Gyökeres is just...
A second challenge came in and it went out of Gyökeres, who looked like he was in for Arsenal's equaliser, potentially onside, edge of the box, one block, and then the other. I think he's took the second shot and he's played it against his teammate Martinelli.
Just nowhere near, is he?
Martin
Zubimendi replaced by the Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard, who's been carrying a shoulder injury since the early weeks of the season. The Norwegian, who scored a late winner in a pre-season friendly when these two met in July. Singapore, comes on 8 minutes to play, still 1-0 Newcastle. Dan Burn having his shirt pulled, heading it on, Odegaard away. Joelinton header forward, straight to Odegaard, into the action, gives it away to Botman. He just puts his foot through it, but it's dropping at the edge of the area, and Elanga's onto this maybe. Elanga with the defender, and a great recovery from Gabriel, but Elanga made life very hard for him there, and Bruno's all over Rice, back inside to Raya. This is what the crowd love. The high press and the intensity from Newcastle. Arsenal come away with the ball, and that's a heavy challenge there by Osula. I think he's going to get a yellow card. Joelinton gets a yellow card on the right, but they're ruffling feathers and roughing up Arsenal, and that's what you have to do to them. Elanga, goodness me, I mean, you're a defender, if you've got somebody like that running at you. Gabriel got away with it, but...
Frighten the light out of it.
Still got the 1-0 lead, Newcastle United. It's going to feel like a long 7 minutes till we get to the end of the 90, and then who knows what will be added to it. Keep listening to it all here on BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll bring you every Newcastle United match live. They're also on the BBC Sounds app. Odegaard, left wing with Trossard through the legs of Trippier. Rice in the penalty area, behind off Chow. Harvey Barnes has been warming up and comes back to the bench. No suggestion of another change just yet though. Rice, set piece. Short one to Eza, and Odegaard back out to Rice. He sends in a delivery, it's there! It's a late equaliser from Arsenal, and it's Mikel Merino, the former Newcastle player. And Newcastle scored from a very similar corner, worked short and put in for Baltimore in the first half. Arsenal with a short corner there, and Merino up, and he headed it across goal and inside the far post. in the 85th minute. Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 1.
We talked about Arsenal switching off from a corner. We've switched off there and they've gone short. Ball whipped in, it's a great header. Goes in off the back post. Whip ball in by Rice. A lot of pace on it. Just gets above Botman, doesn't he?
Well, they were 6 minutes plus additional time away from victory. Now it's 1-1. In a match that Arsenal, well, first half Arsenal dominated. Can Newcastle get their noses in front again? They want a free kick for a challenge on Bruno, but he's got back up. Edge of the area, Bruno to Elanga. Anthony Elanga. Could that be handball? Oh, big appeals for handball. Referee says play on. Trippier to Elanga again. Tonali back to Trippier. Tonali's gone down. Bruno's got it. They're on this near side, close to the penalty box. Bruno turning. Elanga to Trippier. Back through for Elanga. Here's the cross. Dan Burn, right side of the area, lifts it over into the middle. Osula and Saliba chase. The Arsenal defender has it. Osula gets between man and ball and wins a throw. I wonder if they had a case for handball. The referee says wait. It was Elanga's shot. Oh, it's right up there and it's hit the arm.
That's a penalty.
That's got to be.
Got to be a penalty.
It's right up there and it's hit the arm. Oh dear me, VAR is having a proper look. That's not within the natural silhouette of the body. It's in an unnatural position. Obviously it's got to block.
It's a penalty.
That's got to be given. It hasn't been given yet, but surely that has to be given. Elanga, and then that arm is, it's so far up where the ball then connects with it.
I mean, he slides in and his body momentum takes his arm up in the air, but it hits his arm. That's a penalty.
If this isn't given, well, I mean, Arsenal felt unlucky in the first half that theirs was overturned. Jared Gillett's still waiting, telling players to get away. Darren England is the VAR.
No, it's not given.
What? No handball. Now the referee's coming over to the touchline. What possible reason could there be for that not being given?
I tell you why, because it was foot to hand.
Did it touch it, go off another part of his body?
Yeah. It hit his foot and bounced up onto his arm.
Jason Tyndall's been yellow carded. Arsenal are going to make another change. Miles Lewis Skelly is coming on for Leandro Trossard. Well, one didn't go Arsenal's way, the one in the first half. That one did. Didn't see a touch from the boot.
It was a tackle. It was a tackle. He tackled and it bounced up and hit his arm.
The same player?
Yeah.
Right. You've seen it back more times than I have. So in that case, that can't be given, although they've got to throw from it. Burn into the box. Big Arsenal header. And this is where they've got to watch. Burn with a cynical foul. He gets a yellow card, stopping Martinelli on the counter-attack. 1-1, 88th minute. Tino Livramento, who's been taken off in a stretcher today, got penalised for that in Paris in the Champions League, but it was different in UEFA competitions then. In the Premier League, the rules being if it hits one part of your body onto the hand or the arm, then it doesn't count as a penalty. Raya with the free kick. Trippier heads away. Osula was on his heels. Arsenal send it forwards again. Another Trippier header. Chow out of the box. Eza onto the chest of Bruno. He wins a free kick in the defensive third, and Mikel Arteta's laughing at the decision, which he once again doesn't agree with. Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall pointing forwards. Jamal Lascelles goes into the attack for this. Dan Burn wide.
Here we go, lump it in there.
Minute to play. Be a good few minutes added on. Arsenal got back level. Can Newcastle go and win this? Lascelles, they're saying he's held, but there's always holding, isn't there? and nothing is given. Saliba there with a long clearance. Gyökeres misjudged the bounce of the ball. And Chow has it, leaves it for Byrne to take the throw. 30 seconds and then the numbers board will be presented, or we might even get it early. Anthony Taylor.
No, you can't do that.
Started to lift it up, didn't he?
You can't give it early.
15 seconds remaining of the 90. 1-1 on BBC Radio Newcastle. They haven't taken the throw yet. Byrne up the line looking for Osula to try and run behind Saliba, and Osula has got the better of him, but the referee says he's fouled Saliba. And the home fans don't like that. 8 minutes added. A minimum of 8 minutes. Harvey Barnes is going to be brought on for part of the additional period. Odegaard back to Gabriel. If you can't win, don't lose. And Arsenal will be looking for a second goal. It's been another big afternoon at St James's Park. They don't want it to end the way the Liverpool game ended. Lewis Skelly on the near side as Barnes waits to come on. We've played the first of the 8 minutes. Trippier with another header clear from the edge of the penalty box, collected by Lewis Skelly, the 19-year-old. Eza brings it out to the left. Now Odegaard turns in the centre of the Newcastle half. Sula closing down, he's the nearest player to the ball, which is being passed around the back line by Arsenal, but they're all in the Newcastle half. Gabriel to Lewis Skelly. On the right now, 1-1. 2 minutes of additional time played. Through ball to Gyökeres in the area, throws himself down. Botman's made a mess of the clearance. He's run into Timber. Joe Linton chests it. Then Tonali away, but not really properly clear. Now Tonali's got another chance to get rid. Arsenal have kept it in though on the far side. And Timber looked as if he was going to cross, dummied, back it goes to Rice. They're 35 yards out now, and it's a clock that ticks slowly when you don't have the ball. And Newcastle don't have it. Gabriel, that's long. Byrne could let it run, but Timber's there, he plays it inside to Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli, edge of the area for Rice, up the line to Timber. Rice sends it over, Pope gathers, now Elanga on his bike. Can Pope find him? Goes for the long throw, and Osula's after this. Elanga was down, is the referee going to bring it back? Yes he is, because there's no advantage. Just the free kick, and Harvey Barnes comes on for Joelinton.
Substitution for Newcastle coming on, number 7.
93 minutes and 20 seconds.
To be replaced by number 11, Harvey Barnes.
Imagine if he gets the winner. What an inspired substitution that would be. 1-1 on BBC Radio Newcastle. Trippier, Pope's not taking this one, it's close to halfway. To the edge of the box, there's Dan Byrne. They've got hold of his shirt. Elanga lifts it back in. Lascelles heads into the centre, but Raya catches. Here at Arsenal, Byrne's got to be careful, he's on a yellow card. And there's just about enough bodies back, but it's a quick Arsenal move up the pitch. Rice to Lewis Skelly. Trippier in front of him, back to Rice. Osula's back there. Now Odegaard. A through ball, or Lewis Skelly, left side of the area, brilliant defending from Chow. It's a corner. Arsenal thought they'd won it. Mikel Arteta drops to the floor. He looks shocked that didn't go in, but Malik Chow got to Lewis Skelly just
Great
as he was
defended.
about
It was great defended.
to roll it in to a teammate, or maybe Martinelli was in the centre.
Yeah,
ready
he's trying to pull it back square. Chow gets across, gets sliding in. It's real good defending.
Played almost 5 minutes of the minimum 8. Arsenal corner. Rice headed away from the goalkeeper, then following in Martinelli, headed away on its path towards goal. Oh dear, that's a nervy moment. There could be another one here. It comes in. No, Nick Pope, comfortable claim, wants to go quickly again. Oh, it's not a good clearance, not a good ball forward, straight to Lewis Skelly. Elanga was up the right wing, Osula was in the middle, but it went to a red and white shirt. Now Lascelles has to head Rice's cross behind. Arsenal have another corner on the right. 95 minutes, 24 seconds to be precise. They are clinging on a bit now. It was Lascelles who blocked the shot from the previous attack with a header. Left-footed corner kick dropped into the 6-yard box. Arsenal have scored. Nick Pope got stranded, and Arsenal have turned it around to potentially win in injury time. And Newcastle, like against Liverpool here at St James's last month, have been hit by a big blow right at the end of the game, and it looks like Gabriel, who's got his head to the ball, and they can't believe it. Against the run of play they led for so long, and 2 late goals for Arsenal have tipped this one upside down. 97th minute, Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 2.
Well, it's good delivery, isn't it? We knew that they were strong from set pieces. You just get something on it. That's 2 set pieces, 2 corner kicks, 2 goals for them. Well, all 3 goals have come from corner kicks. We said that set pieces would play a big part.
Is he the player just in front of the goalkeeper? Gabriel, oh no, it's Saliba. And where does Gabriel come from? It's just ahead of the 2.
Yeah.
Arsenal have had some bad days here in recent times, and they've had a lot that they've been complaining about today in terms of decisions. Maybe their team's moved on. This was a fixture Newcastle always used to perform poorly in, particularly when Arsenal were always at the very top. Last couple of years have been different. This is going to be a big win for Mikel Arteta's team, who would go second. They've sent it long from the goal kick. Bruno's got it at left back, gives it to Nick Pope. It's only 30 seconds of the 8 minutes remaining. Pope helped on by Byrne. Barnes on the chase. It's not over. Harvey Barnes trying to get in, but Declan Rice has used his strength and dispossessed him. Malik Chow with a header for Bruno now in the middle. Bruno wins a free kick off Eza. Mikel Arteta complains again. Nick Pope's asking for permission either to take the free kick or go forwards, but they've said no. Trippier's going to take it. The 8 minutes are up. This would be probably their last chance to rescue a point. Into the box it goes. Oh, it's loose, and it isn't clear again, and it's so away from goal. Where will it go? Throw next to the corner flag. Difficult to follow. Ball was just bobbling around. Referees said wait before they take the throw. Now, I don't know what they're looking at. Is there a possibility of a foul maybe, or a handball? I don't know. Now they can take the throw. Pope is on halfway. They haven't sent him forwards. Headed on by Byrne and away by Arsenal. Now Pope has to go and get the ball, but that's the last action. Newcastle United beaten at home in injury time for the second time this season in the Premier League. Dramatic disappointment. Arsenal turned it around after it looked as though they were going to record an impressive victory. It got away from them with the late equaliser from their former player Mikel Merino in the 84th minute, and then in the 96th minute Gabriel Magalhães, the header from the corner. Arsenal have won by 2-1. Newcastle, who led from the 34th minute to the 84th after Nick Baltamarda's header, lose for the second time in the league this season. 1 win, 3 draws, 2 defeats from their opening 6 matches. They stay 15th. It's a horrible way to lose, John Anderson, even though we were really impressed with the way Arsenal played in the first half.
Yeah, Arsenal were very good first half. Probably led against the run of play, but just defended so grittily, so good, real good shape. We said during commentary and before the game that it would come to set pieces. Set pieces would have a big part to play in the game, and all 3 goals came from them. You know, ours is from a corner, their 2 are from corner kicks. Just so important to keep your concentration, stay with marks, stay with who you're supposed to mark, stay with runners, especially late on in games when you get tired and you get mentally tired as well. But full credit to Arsenal, I suppose they kept going right to the death, but it's a harsh way to lose.
Lots of big decisions in the match, lots of activity on the touchline, referee involved in plenty. Arsenal penalty decision overturned in the first half. Newcastle thought they were going to get one, and we did initially, but you saw it back. Elanga blocked by Gabriel, and you said it hit the defender's boot and then onto his arm.
Yeah,
so
it was a tackle. He slid in to block it, it hit his foot, bounced up, hit his arm, and under them circumstances you can't give a penalty. It's not deemed as handball. How it's not deemed as handball I do not know, because the ball could then go anywhere, but they're the laws of the game. Some of the laws of the game are baffling at times, and that most definitely is one of them.
Arsenal supporters continue to celebrate at the top of the Leazes End. Newcastle make their way around the pitch. The visiting players and manager Mikel Arteta are on their way up the tunnel. It's been in many ways a challenging start to the season, on and off the pitch. Only 1 Premier League win, a few clean sheets, but things are changing, aren't they, in terms of the team, the players that are in it. It might take time. It's a painful way to lose, but it does feel like obviously they're yet to settle on something, aren't they? They've got players out as well. There's lots of changes every week as they manage the different competitions.
Yeah, look, it's something we spoke about. It's about getting that balance right. Defensively, we look sound, but it's getting that balance right at the other end. You know, it just isn't there at this moment in time, and it's something to work at. And the problem is, he can't get on the training ground to work at it because of the amount of games that we've got. But that goes with the territory. If you're in these competitions, you don't get the time on the training pitch that you would wish for.
Next match is in Belgium on Wednesday. Union Saint-Gilloise away, 5:40.